morning, you wake up and make a choice. You think it's a small one. The extra 5 minutes of sleep. The brand of coffee you buy. The route you take to work. The person you choose to text back. Most people believe that life is defined by the big moments. The wedding, the promotion, the tragic accident. But they are looking at the world through a cracked lens. Life is not a series of explosions. It is a slow, silent erosion. It is a game of millimeters. In the next 40 minutes, we are going to pull back the curtain on the invisible math of your existence. We are going to explore how a single decision, made today, at 2 p.m., can be the difference between a life of quiet desperation and a legacy of total freedom. Welcome to the science of the micro-pivot. Look at your hands. Look at the room around you. Everything you see, and everything you feel, is the physical manifestation of your past 24 months. If you feel tired, it's not because of today. It's because of 1,000 small surrenders to comfort. If your bank account feels empty, it's not because of the economy. It's because your money has been leaking through 100 invisible holes you haven't bothered to plug. We all feel it. That nagging sensation that we are meant for more. We see people online who seem to have it all figured out, and we assume they got lucky. We assume they had a big break. But there is no such thing as a big break. There is only the compounding of the ordinary. You aren't struggling because you're a failure. You're struggling because you are treating your daily decisions like they don't matter. You are living as if today is a throwaway day. But in the world of finance and fate, there are no throwaway days. To understand how your life is shaped, you have to understand the trajectory of the 1 degree. Imagine a pilot flying from New York to London. If, at takeoff, he moves the nose of the plane just 1 degree to the left, he won't notice it for the first hour. The passengers won't notice it. To the naked eye, the plane is still heading east. But over thousands of miles, that 1 degree compounds. By the time the plane should be landing in London, it's actually hundreds of miles away in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. This is your life. Your 1 degree is the decision to read 10 pages of a book instead of scrolling through a feed. It's the decision to put $50 into an index fund instead of buying a new pair of shoes. In the moment, it feels like nothing. You don't feel smarter after 10 pages. You don't feel richer after $50. But you aren't playing for today. You are playing for the arrival point. For nearly 100 years, British cycling was the laughingstock of the professional world. Since 1908, they had won only a single gold medal at the Olympic Games. In the Tour de France, the most prestigious race on earth, no British rider had ever stood on the podium. They were so mediocre that one of the top bike manufacturers in Europe actually refused to sell bikes to the team because they were afraid it would hurt the brand's reputation if other professionals saw the British riders using their gear. Then, in 2003, everything changed. They hired Dave Brailsford. Brailsford didn't come in with a revolutionary new training regime. He didn't fire everyone and hire superstars. Instead, he introduced a concept he called the aggregation of marginal gains. His philosophy was simple. If you broke down everything you could think of that goes into riding a bike, and then improved it by just 1%, you would get a significant increase when you put them all together. They started with the obvious. They redesigned the bike seats to be 1% more comfortable. They rubbed alcohol on the tires for better grip. They had the riders wear electrically heated overpants to maintain ideal muscle temperature while riding. But Brailsford didn't stop at the obvious. This is where the silent law of everyday decisions truly shines. He looked at the tiny, invisible details that everyone else ignored. He hired a surgeon to teach the riders the best way to wash their hands to reduce the chances of catching a cold. He searched for the best pillow and mattress for each rider, so they could have a 1% better sleep every night. He even painted the inside of the team truck white, which allowed them to spot tiny specks of dust that could degrade the performance of the finely tuned bikes. To an outsider, these decisions seemed obsessive. To a competitor, they seemed irrelevant. Hand washing? Pillows? Paint? How could these possibly help someone win a race in the French Alps? But remember the 1 degree rule. Just 5 years after Brailsford took over, the British cycling team dominated the 2008 Olympic Games in Beijing, winning 60% of the gold medals available. 4 years later in London, they set 9 Olympic records and 7 world records. That same year, Bradley Wiggins became the first British cyclist to win the Tour de France. The next year, his teammate Chris Froome won it again, and again in 2015, 2016, and 2017. In a 10-year span, British riders won 178 World Championships and 66 Olympic or Paralympic gold medals. This is the power of the everyday decision. When you choose to prep your meals for the week, you aren't just saving $10. You are 1% less likely to be tired on Tuesday. When you are 1% less tired, you are 1% more focused at your meeting. When you are 1% more focused, you make a 1% better impression on your boss. Most people are looking for the giant leap. They want the 100% improvement in one day. But giant leaps are unstable. They are hard to maintain. The 1% gain is different. It is quiet. It is manageable. And most importantly, it is inevitable. When you aggregate your marginal gains, you aren't fighting for a win. You are building a system where winning is the only possible outcome. Society has conditioned us to wait for the big win. We wait for the lottery, the viral video, or the inheritance. This is a psychological trap. Why? Because the big win is outside of your control. And when you focus on things outside of your control, you become a victim. True power is found in the aggregated marginal gain. Consider the story of a man who decided to improve every single aspect of his life by just 1%. He didn't try to become a millionaire overnight. He just tried to make his morning routine 1% better. He tried to make his work focus 1% sharper. Most people quit because they don't see the big win in the first month. They go to the gym for 3 weeks, look in the mirror, and see the same person. So they stop. They failed to realize that the body was changing at a molecular level. The decision was working, but the result was still in the oven. The greatest mistake you can make is confusing a lack of visibility with a lack of progress. If you want to change your arrival point, you must change your filter. Here are 3 actionable laws you can implement by sunset tonight. First, the future self tax. Every time you are about to spend money or time, ask one question: is this a gift to my future self, or a debt? Eating junk food is a debt your future self has to pay in health. Saving money is a gift your future self receives in freedom. Stop acting like your future self is a stranger. He is you. Second, the rule of the vital few. 80% of your results come from 20% of your activities. Identify the 2 decisions you make every day that actually move the needle. For most, it's when they wake up and how they spend their first 2 hours. Master those 2 hours, and you win the day by default. Third, the low-friction environment. Stop relying on willpower. Willpower is a battery that drains. Instead, change your environment. If you want to save money, delete the shopping apps. If you want to work, put your phone in another room. Make the good decision the easiest one to make. Imagine walking into a vast, silent library. Every book on the shelf is a version of your life that could have happened. You pull one off the shelf. In this version, you started that business at 22. You see yourself traveling, healthy, and surrounded by a community of high achievers. You pull another book. In this one, you never stopped learning. You speak 3 languages. You are at peace. Then, you look at the book in your hand, your actual life. The only difference between the books on the shelf and the book in your hand isn't talent. It isn't God-given ability. It is the thousands of tiny, microscopic forks in the road where the other you chose the harder path. It's not too late to rewrite the current chapter, but you have to stop waiting for a new pen. You are holding the pen right now. Your life is not a tragedy. It is not a comedy. It is a documentary, and you are the lead editor. Every yes is a brick. Every no is a shield. The world doesn't need more people who are waiting for the perfect moment. The world needs people who understand that the perfect moment is a ghost. The only moment that exists is the one happening in the silence between my words. Choose the 1 degree. Change the trajectory. If this reached you at the right time, subscribe and join our community of architects. Leave a comment below with the one small decision you are changing today. The plane is on the runway. The destination is up to you.